Hello, welcome back to Tactical Tuesday with Johnny Tiger on May 11, 2021. Going to keep this a little bit short today because it's getting late, and this is really an addendum to Survival Saturday, where I talked about the three different stages of a martial artist journey. Like I said, it's getting a little bit late and we can't be making a lot of noises. This is why we get a little bit quieter music in the background and I am talking a little bit softer than normal. So, as some of you might have noticed, last week when I did the three different stages of the journey, the video cut off at the very end before I actually was able to sign off. To quickly recap the three stages of a martial artist's journey is the learning stage, where everything is fresh and new and wonderful and exciting, where you really have to watch out for the self doubt and the confusion in your training. Watch out for the plateau. Watch out for the self criticism. Be patient. Be dedicated. The second stage of your journey is the proving stage, where now you know the technique, you know the art almost inside out, left and right, and you're ready to work on your power and your speed, and you're going forward in the world with this newfound knowledge, newfound weapon. That is your karate or your taekwondo or your krav maga. And you are eager to prove to people how badass you are. You want to fight many, many battles. You love combat in this stage. You love proving to other people how great you are. This is a very exciting, very testosterone filled stage. Uh, it's exciting because you're going to really be able to test things out at this point and really find out if your things really work or not. But you have to watch out for the ego and watch out for the consideration. Make sure that while you're busy trying to make yourself into a killing machine, you also want to make sure that you're not going out there causing trouble or obliterating your training partner just to satisfy your ego. The third stage, the third stage is the third stage. Just a little bit of a Chinese accent just came out there. The third stage was the forgetting or the assimilation stage. This is where you're ready to pass on your knowledge. This is when knowledge become part of your body. You no longer need to think about techniques. You no longer think in terms of technique name. You no longer think in terms of patterns and combos. You are your martial art. Your martial art is you. Your martial art will come out as easily as when you trip over something on the floor, you automatically readjust your balance. Your martial art will come out as easily as if you get up in the morning, you stand up, you don't have to look at the floor. You put your feet down, you know how to stand up. Okay? This is when it becomes a part of you, when it's natural. This stage is really wonderful in that you are confident. You no longer need to wonder about your ability or what you can or can't do. You no longer need to prove it to yourself or to other people. You know this is a faith. This is a religion now. This is conviction. You know for sure what your body is going to do, when, and how. The danger in this stage, of course, is complacency. You want to make sure that you're not complacent, you're not static. Because as I mentioned last time, if you're not going forward, then you're going backward. So it's important to keep up with your training, keep up with your uh, education, keep up with your demonstration, your techniques, because otherwise very soon you will slide back, and very soon you will go back into the learning stage one more time. Now the last time, because the video suddenly ended, I didn't get a chance to show you guys what it looked like in different stages. I get asked this by some students before. Okay, so when I look at someone, because you can't trust what people tell you. When you look at people, when you talk to people, especially nowadays on the internet, especially nowadays um, on social media, everyone's a badass. Everyone is a ninja master. Everyone can train special forces. Everyone is a retired war veteran that fought in both the First and the Second World War. You don't know who's telling you the truth. So it comes down to, okay, how do I know what level someone is at? If I run into someone at a bar, if I run into someone on the street, or if I meet someone off the internet, and they want to tell me that they are a master of this, a master of that, how can I tell? How can I tell? Okay? Now, I'm going to show you guys. Again, I want to stress that this is not a, one statement, cover everything, blanket statement, that there are people out there that's going to move differently. But I'm going to give you guys a very good foundation, very good idea of what it looked like when different level, different stage of people do their techniques. Let's look at something the most basic, something that is striking. I'm going to I'm going to stand slightly to the side so you guys can hopefully see what I'm doing a little bit better. When a person who is at a learning level, when you watch them strike, whether it's a sparring or whether it is working on punching bag on their own, it generally is going to look something like this. Shifting balance back and forth, making sure the stand is right, maybe bounce around a little bit, stance is a little bit off, pulling off the pants because they notice that they're stepping on their own pant leg, like I was, checking if the posture is right, and then when they actually strike, they're going to look like 1, 2, 3, 4, roundhouse kick, roundhouse kick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, uppercut, knee, 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 elbow, elbow. Okay, so what was the what was the most notable thing in what was going on? The person in the beginner level, no matter if they have the power or not, they pay a lot of attention to what they are doing. In other words, after they throw a jab, they stop, assess, everything's okay. Okay, then now we throw a cross, assess, everything's fine. A hook, and then a right hook, and then maybe a roundhouse kick. Watch this roundhouse kick. When the learner level guys throw their roundhouse kick, it's going to it's going to come out in stages. Knees come up, throw the kick, come back. Knee come up, throw the kick, come back. And there's a pause. There's a pause after every time they complete the movement because they're not sure. because they're not sure. They want to make sure they got their balance. They want to make sure they got, and this is not criticized. Okay, this is not me saying that that is bad. That is actually good. You're supposed to do that. You're supposed to pay attention to what you're doing. Don't rush into the speed and power game. Make sure that your technique is good, your balance is good, and work on the rest later. But this is what the beginner, the learner, the learning guy, learning stage would look like. They they don't worry about looking good, okay? They don't worry about looking cool. They worry about every punch is perfect. Every kick is perfect. Every elbow is perfect. They readjust their stance a lot. They make sure they cover all the bases. Okay? This is what the learning guy look like in striking the fight. A learning guy also, when you get them into a sparring or a fight, they will tend to do something like this. They'll go into their fight stand and then they'll adjust, maybe look to the side, maybe lower their shoulder. It's like everything will take a few seconds to settle into place. Right? And once it's settled into place, they won't move from that spot until they're ready to fight. Because it takes so much work to get it perfect. They're not going to mess it up again. Okay? This is the learner stage. Now, the proving stage will look very different. The proving stage, we are looking at something more like, watch this. When the fight starts, the person who's in the proving stage okay, that is proving stage. Total obliteration of the target, overwhelm, speed, power. They don't worry about if their form is perfect or not. They know they're perfect. They don't worry about making sure they have the right fight stand or pause between their punches. They just go, 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 go until the opponent is down. When you watch people in the proving stage, another big indication is you will see fancy techniques, really fancy stuff in the proving stage because they're cool. It takes a lot of time to learn new stuff. So they will bust out those moves like flying knee or flying kick or stuff like that. Or when I was striking, you notice there was a flying overhead elbow coming down. Okay? Tiring as hell, but look good. You know? When a guy who's in the proving stage get into a fight, you will generally notice them because they are very confident. They have the swagger. And if you run into a guy and when they're ready to fight, they're like, "Hey man, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on." They're moving like this, huh? Left and right, back and forth, very, very balanced, hopping around. That's the guy in the proving stage. Right? They don't need to stop. Make sure they have their balance because they know the balance is there. Right? Now, what does it look like when it's a person in the forgetting stage? A person who is sort of in a teacher, instructor, master role. What does it look like when they strike or fight? Let me show you. It's going to look something like this. Huh? Do you see that clearly the first time? Let's look at that again. And it's done. Slowing that down from standing, there's no fight stand, no fight stance whatsoever, no setting of the balance, no getting into my hands up, right? It's going to look like a hook punch to the gut, the same arm travel up, grab the shirt, knee come up into the same place in the gut or the groin, elbow right into the throat. Three hits. Three hits, the fight is over. One reason for that is most people who get to this stage, a little bit older, like myself, we don't have a lot of energy to mess around. So if we can get it over within one or two or three hits, that's what we do. And because we are so confident that our body will do what we want it to do, we don't need to go into the fight stand. We don't need all that setting up with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 2, 3. We don't need all that extra motion to throw in the hard hook punch to the gut. We don't need all that setup from hook punch to gut, directly hand travel up, grab the lapel, knee come up into the gut, and the same hand elbow into the throat. Three hits. Three hits, the fight is over. We go on uh, with our daily meditation and other stuff that old geezers need to do. And if you run into someone who is really at this level on the street, what they look like when they're ready to fight, they just look like this, standing here talking. There's not going to be any tensing of the shoulder, and not going to be any shuffling of the feet. Uh, when I am confronted with aggression, I'm very relaxed. I can have my hand in my pocket. I have my hand crossed over my chest, my hand behind my back. Sometimes I even reach up and comb my hair. And this is not me being ridiculous or cocky. Every one of these gestures has its reason. Let me show you guys. First, why do I have my hand down by my side when I'm confronted with aggression? Because the moment they even make a move toward me, the moment they touch me, boom, my hand right here from my side into their groin. Boom. I don't need that 1, 2, 3 stuff. I don't need the fancy flying kick. As soon as they move toward me, boom. Eh? As soon if they try to grab me, right? If they try to grab me, pow! I just hit their hand right on the wrist. If they try to punch me, if they try to punch me, I just turn my body. I don't need to use my hand to stop a punch. I just turn my body, turn my head. Okay, so that's the first scenario. Second scenario, why would I have my hand crossed over my chest? When I'm talking, if I'm being threatened with violence, well, the moment they try to get aggressive, pow! I uncross my arm. The motion of uncrossing my arm sends my fist right into the face or the groin, or both, face groin. Huh? And that's just one hand. Why would I have my hand behind my back? Well, again, if I have my hand behind my back, and try it sometime if you guys want, especially if you do a lot of kicking, if you do taekwondo and stuff like that, try doing it with your hand behind your back. You will find that it will actually reinforce your balance in a lot of kicks, having this bit of support behind your lower back, even though it's your own hand, your own arm, right? It's almost like leaning your back against a guardrail when you're kicking. When you have your hand there, it will do the same. This is a bit of fight psychology because your brain interprets there's support behind your spine. Therefore, it makes it a lot easier to balance, and the kick come out a lot faster without needing to rebalance anything. So, someone threatening me with violence, I put my hand behind my back. The moment they make an aggressive move toward me, uh, my kick come out right away. I'm perfectly balanced and kick, kick, kick. Three kicks, very quick, no problem. I don't lose my balance. Right? Why do I? Uh, Scenario number four. Why do I do the combing my hair thing? That should be pretty obvious, but let me show you guys. Someone's threatening with violence, they expect me to have my hand ready to hit them. But if my hand is doing something else, mundane, combing my hair, fixing my clothes, takes their mind off of it. Takes their mind off of it. So if I'm combing my hair and they try to come in to get aggressive, pow! Yeah, from my hair straight forward into the face. From my hair straight forward into the face. I don't need to set up. I don't need to set up with any kind of fight stand. So I hope that gives you guys a little bit of a clear idea of what it looks like when people strike and fight from different stages in their training. Thank you for checking out today's Tactical Tuesday. We'll be back again tomorrow for Wisdom Wednesday. For now, have a good night.